everybody, Anime Reflux, and let me tell you, I had a mare of a time with this show.
Why would you open like that, you motherfucker?
I guess we should get to the main point of the show right away, which is the show that we're doing. What was the name of the show we're doing? I was too busy thinking about horse puns.
The show is called Uma Musume Pretty Derby. It's based off a gotcha game, which is basically My Little Pony but for gamblers.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
Actually, that's accurate.
so
Also,
basic.
to preface this entire series, I saw the porn of this series before I saw the actual show. It colored my impression of the show itself in a really weird way.
No, it didn't. Trust me.
The art style did not help.
It didn't
I
color
don't
your
know what it
impression
is.
at the slightest. I got the same exact impression. Yeah.
Oh, good to know, I think.
Yeah. So this series is apparently basically a show about cross-country runners with, a horse coat, I guess. It's,
So
still trying to come up with horse puns.
the setting for this is that from a completely different special world, racing horses die, and then their souls enter into the unborn babies of this world and become horse girl.
Is that what the opening cinematic was trying to
Yes.
imply? That
Yes.
was weird as shit. I thought a little more physicality was involved in that process. That was so weird.
I think either way it would be weird. I mean,
So your child can just randomly be a horse girl with a name like Special Week.
yeah, apparently it psychically imprints its name onto the parents as well, so they have to name it that, I guess, is how that works.
I don't know how anybody figured out they were originally horse girls from a different world, but I guess they did. What is the
This is a
science
world
like in
without
this world?
horses, apparently. So, how do they know what the word horse is if that animal doesn't exist?
How do they know what a horse race is?
What would the fucking Takeda Shingen fucking cavalry charge look like?
Are we having? Is there an entire series of like a war in this world in which you have the horse girls giving the generals piggyback rides?
Yep, that.
Because I want to see that.
Yeah, okay.
At least the race thing makes sense, because if you had an entire class of people that were just obsessed with running, yes, of course it would be an actual sport after a while.
Does the Idol concert afterwards make sense, though?
No, that threw me
No.
for a complete loop. What the fuck?
Okay. Yeah. So after they win the race, the horse girls do an idol concert for no reason.
Not like they're attending it. They're actually singing in it, too.
Yep, they
There's
are
a-
the performers. If you win a race, you have to perform a concert at the end of it.
There's an element of this that is like, look, if we just add more stuff, it'll pander more. So just put more in it.
Yeah, it turns out the horse girl fetishists is actually a pretty small market, so maybe we need to expand our horizons a little bit.
What if they're also idols? Okay. Why would anybody want to do this?
Yeah, it is kind of asking a lot. Like, you have to be an incredible athlete and also able to sing and dance and have good stage presence. Probably also be attractive, because that's kind of, obviously a thing for stage performers. It's
All horse girls are attractive. It's genetically encoded from the horse whose soul inhabits your body.
yeah.
Clearly.
But aside from all of those bizarre elements, it's pretty much a paint by numbers of a sports show. Still trying to come up with puns. It's easier than I thought it'd be. So there is this synopsis. There's a character named Special Week. She is a horse girl, and she is very excited going to, I don't know, Tokyo. Probably it's always fucking Tokyo.
I think half this episode is her going, ah.
Yep. So she goes to Tokyo. She doesn't know how the fucking train station works, and gets advice from a very friendly ticket officer guy, which is strange, but maybe it's Japan. Maybe they're different there. He advises her to go check out the track because why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she is a horse girl, so yeah, that seems like a good. Of course, you would be into this kind of deal.
But don't forget, you have to be at the school by 6 p.m. Don't forget. You have to be at the school by 6. Don't forget. Okay, I'm going to go see the race.
Yep. It's pretty far away. Don't worry. I'll hoof it.
That one actually made me feel physical pain.
Yeah. That you are actually doing damage with these by now.
That's the cheers from the audience of my amazing puns. It's great. So so she goes to the track, and apparently, I don't know, I got irrationally angry about this because she goes to a bunch of food stalls, gets a bunch of fucking food, and then immediately drops all of it, and it pissed me off. But, you know.
Yeah. No, that was a lot of food to just throw on the ground.
Yeah, that made me mad. That was incredibly wasteful. But, you know, she's clumsy like that, so it's fine. Because, you know, protagonists need a negative character trait, and what's a really, really easy one? Clumsiness. So, she goes to see a race, and she's very into it until a guy feels up her legs. I feel like half of the reason for this show is just to make a scenario where that's less not okay.
Yeah, it's still, like, that's still really high on her leg. Like, if it was her calf, maybe. That's still weird, but
you
it's
have
not,
really
like,
great
sexual.
hind legs. What do you mean she... What?
I had that thought as well. It's like, what other legs are you talking about? What?
These, like, okay, horse girls, fine. But they were always horse girls. They don't have horses. So there are no forelegs to separate them from the hind legs, and there never have been. This guy, we find out later, is supposed to train these horse girls. So how does that make sense? But she runs away from
there
him.
are other animals. There are other four-legged animals, though. So, I mean, the word four-leg and hind-leg exists. It's just...
It does. It's just horse girls have never had them.
It's not
Ever.
applicable in this scenario, yeah.
Ever. So, she runs away from the creeper, because duh, and starts watching the race.
Kicks him really hard in the face, too.
Creeper?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So... she enjoys the race. There's a horse named Suzuka something, or something Suzuka, I don't know, that is ridiculously fast. Like, okay, this is supposed to be the rival character. Well, she's never going to beat her. Like, it's not even... like, it's a difference of being supernaturally fast compared to literally all of the other horses that are supposedly of the same ability level. So that's a really weird gap to give the fucking first introduction to, but alright. So ginger horse Suzuka, chestnut, I guess, technically, because horse. She wins handily by a massive margin, and the creeper comes back and feels up the protagonist again because he's a creeper. And he's like, oh, are you going? Are you running away from me? Because I'd rather you didn't, so I guess I'm going to tell you about the concert that you should stay and watch. So I can feel you up more. The show was made just for me. just so that I could be a character, so I could feel up your legs again. Basically. So
Creepy but accurate.
then the concert happens.
Hey guys, do you know how it's great being a horse? Well, what if our horses could also be idols?
Yeah. So the horses become idols for some reason, and the writer inside me starts cutting himself. And then the protagonist remembers she had a curfew that she was supposed to get to, and so she runs to the dorms, I guess, and starts banging on the door and gets let in with no problems or comeuppance whatsoever, so that entire plot point was pointless. Like, literally pointless.
There's no conflict there at all.
Yep.
Wow, yeah, you're right. Aside from the one person like laughing at her a little bit.
They're set up for
Yeah.
a conflict
No.
or some sort of way she has to prove herself, and that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, they just let her in and say, oh, you missed your curfew on your first day. I guess you can sleep in the nap room, because apparently they have a nap room. And that's it. And it's over. And it's the next day. We don't even see that. We see that scene in a 5-second flashback after, the next day where nothing comes of it. So,
we
cool.
got a race, there's no time. We got a race, there's no time.
So she goes into her classroom and tries to make a good impression, but she's so clumsy she trips and falls over her own feet.
She was nervous. She was very nervous.
Even before that, she's just kind of awkward as shit.
Yeah. So apparently all the other girls don't care that she tripped and fell on her face within 2 seconds of seeing her.
Look, it's all positivity. There's no conflict.
Yep, everyone's nice and happy and stuff and friendly. And she meets an American horse that transferred over, apparently, that wears a mask that I'm sure is representative of something from actual horses that they're based on. Who knows?
It kind of looks like goggles, but, like, why is she American and not Mexican? She has a Spanish name.
Because it was
confused.
Probably like a Texan horse or something. I don't know. They like Spanish stuff.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not sure, like, most of the names are in English, so I'm not sure how any of that relates to anything. Whatever. It really doesn't matter. This is horse fetish porn. So, she sits and attends class that apparently, despite her joining the class like halfway through term, they do a rundown of the basic system of how the school and the racing stuff works. That is also apparently on a test they're going to be having, which is confusing. And then they have lunch.
Don't worry about it.
Then they have lunch, and she has a giant bowl of rice. Cool.
Maybe that's a Japan thing. I don't get the cultural significance. I mean, yeah, she got a lot of food. It's funny, I guess. Is that the extent of the joke?
I guess. Biggie to protagonist is a thing, is a trope. But they don't actually do anything with it here. It's just
She doesn't.
there.
She doesn't eat anything of it.
Yeah, it literally just sitting there while she picks at her actual food. It's weird.
I mean, I guess it would be kind of strange if someone got like 4 plates worth of side order or something in a restaurant.
Do that sometimes. I absolutely.
Well,
do that.
yeah, if it's good, you load up on stuff if it's good. Doesn't matter if it's a side or not.
Ordered an entire box of like barbecue wings from Domino's, and that's it. I didn't order pizza. I just ordered the fucking wings because they're really good.
Well, at least for wings, that's like a main dish at other places. It's only a side there because they do pizza.
Yeah.
It's just nice to get a delivery of wings, but anyways.
Pretty good. So they have a conversation about teams, which is there is a horse and a trainer, which despite Special Week expositing that, hey, she used to watch the horse racing and she loved it and her mum signed her up, apparently she didn't know how horse girl racing works. So, good job there, Ash Ketchum. You're gonna be a Pokemon Master one day. Sorry, I mean...
That was a good one. That
horse
was
girl
a good call.
racing.
What is it with protagonists that don't actually know what they're doing?
I don't know. So yeah, there is a team that is having a tryout. Happens to be that day that she's joined the school, because of course. And all the girls are going to try and join this team because what's-her-name is on it. Which turns out not to be true like 10 minutes later because the protagonist fails to get into the team. But they have a trial race to see how they stack up, and American transfer horse, I've forgotten the name of, wins handily. Special Week fails to actually realize she needs to run in a race for the first 5 to 10 seconds, and yet somehow sees Ginger Horse off the side of the track and is inspired to somehow turn that into coming second place, which doesn't happen because 5 seconds is a long time in horse racing. Oh well. And so, after she fails to get on the team, she gets kidnapped by another smaller team that is run by the Creeper guy. And it turns out Ginger Horse has also joined this team as of like the day before. And they're all gonna be great horses and such. And they're putting Special Week in her first race the next week, which we jump cut straight to, and she still looks surprised that she's in a race, even though it's been a week.
I will admit it was kind of a cheap joke, but I really did like the smash cut at the end. Also, I'm getting serious Zombieland Saga vibes off of the cast. Of the girls, at least. I mean, I guess the producer as well, but I think the producer in Zombieland Saga is more of a shitbag in the less creepy sense.
Much more. Also, I've been looking at trailers for the game, and to their credit, it's all 3D models. And they have a race, and I guess you can influence it by pushing buttons somewhat. But
I mean, horse racing is a somewhat big thing in Japan, right? I mean, they have actual horse racing video games in Japan, if memory serves.
what was that one ridiculous horse racing game?
Oh god, yeah, the one where it all does weird, stupid stuff during the race.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what it was called, but Achievement Hunter did a video on it. Well,
Japan
community
World
channel.
Cup.
That's it. That's probably it, yeah.
That's my horse racing.
Yeah.
The one where you got like the horses walking on 2 legs, or like.
Yeah. Gotta say, I kind of prefer that to this. Ugh. Like, I'm not wrong in just calling this fetish material, right? This is totally just like. This is the whole Nekomimi thing just taken in a really more niche thing. And somehow that makes it even creepier.
Why do they need the gates? Like the horse racing gates?
So no one can cheat, I guess. I mean, that actually kind of makes sense.
You could just have a starting line like every single other marathon race.
They could, and it really makes no sense that they have specifically a horse setup when horses have not existed in this universe. I really cannot stop going back to that point. A lot of these things shouldn't exist.
Okay, well, maybe because horse girls... Sorry, just throw up a little bit in my mouth from having to say horse girls so many times. Because
You're good.
horse girls have been being born in this world for a while, probably. They probably designed how horse racing mechanics work and thus built it to their specifications, I guess. Maybe.
I guess maybe they get aggressive when they're
What
in the starting line. I
happens?
mean, that last one tried to rip out the main girl's throat.
What
essentially,
happens
so-
when a horse girl grows old and dies? Does the horse spirit move on to another girl? Is there like a special week 2?
No, you become a quarter horse girl.
What happens there?
You
What is the
become
process here?
You become the Ichigo of this universe.
Well, the process is a very specific factory that they get sent to, and it's not a thing they probably want to talk about publicly in the setting.
Oh no. Oh no, where does glue come from? Casey, where does glue come from?
Well, if the horseshoe fits, I mean...
Oh. Oh. Every single myth, every single thing where it's like, people would ride their horses until eventually, they'd ride them to death in some cases. And oh gosh. The body count for horse girls must be massive. Anyways, anime is weird.
Fetishes can be weird. Yeah, this was made for a very particular crowd. So the only critique that I can really give for this that seems somewhat valid is hashtag not my fetish. And yes, I'm doing the hashtag symbol with my fingers. I am not the audience for this. And I imagine the audience for this is pretty fucking small, but they are super into it.
I'm kind of weirdly into it, actually. I don't know what it is with this show that appeals to me.
Says the My Little Pony fan, so,
Yeah, it has some seriously weird flashbacks when you were making all those puns at the start of the episode. It's like, God, I'm back in the My Little Pony fandom.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to try and make a bitten bridal joke, but it just really wouldn't come together.
Look, I just need to watch more of Japan World Cup.
I don't know. I guess you're just discovering new things about yourself, Slicer. I guess you should really, explore this part of yourself and, really take the reins on it,
There you go. It's for the pun. I was going to say, that's not new. None of this is new. So yeah, the episode was kind of standard. It was amusing. It had some tired tropes in it, but it wasn't bad. The animation was really nice, actually. Although it inspired some wheelings. I don't. What is it with this art style that's like, wow, this is like one cutscene away from porn, or one scene transition.
Well, at the very least, with it being such a small market, there aren't really many shows dedicated to horse girls aside from My Little Pony, and that's an American show, so that's a different market. So, I mean, it's not like they're going to have to jockey for position compared to other shows. They don't have to...
You can go on. I'm glad this episode can justify its existence in your own amusement with yourself.
Yeah.
If it so pleases the court, I rolled another number so we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
22.
Fuck, what's 22? Hang on. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Fuck, I've lost count. Fuck, I'm stupid. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, which is W.
W.
Plenty of W.
The giant W.
31.
And our lucky number is 15.
15 is done. That was Whistle. We've done that one.
Our lucky other number is
That was the
20.
soccer one that was shit. 20? Okay.
What is it? Say it.
Quite possibly another fetish show, but we'll see. More like a costume fetish show, I suppose, technically.
And instantly I'm interested. I mean...
Well, like a very specific costume. It's
Oh.
or not, I guess. This actually seems surprisingly serious for what it is, but that's just based on the image. Witchcraft Works.
Oh, Witchcraft Works. I know this one.
Oh. Yeah, I know this one too, actually. I don't know if I've seen it.
Summary! Takamiya Honoka is a regular student whose only problem seems to be that he sits next to Kagari Ayaka, the school's number one beauty, of course. They have never spoken to each other before, and any small interaction between them immediately results in her fan club beating him. Yet when a falling part of the school's building is about to send him to the afterlife, it's Kagari that comes to his rescue, only she's dressed as a witch, carrying him in her arms and floating on a broom. Kagari tells him it is her mission to protect him, and that now she can finally protect him openly rather than undercover. Cool.
Okay, then.
From what I remember, there is a significant amount of kind of lore and world building in this that gets expanded on later on. But for the most part, it's fairly decent. It's not bad from what I remember, but it's been a long time. I dropped off it at some point, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of this episode is going to be dominated with that trope of the fan club beating him, and that irritates the fuck out of me. Maybe it's just... Maybe it's it doesn't hit Western audiences the same ones, but the thought of people being so butt mad that you talked to a woman they're interested in because they didn't have the courage to do so, that's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Huh. There's an interesting spin on that, because according to the comments wow, there are some fucking lectures in the comments, holy shit. This anime is basically known for reversing traditional gender roles as far as Japan is concerned. So the woman is very, very strong and capable, the man is not, and is often called princess.
It is big tall girl protects smaller, weaker guy, and she's more stoic. He's more emotional. So, I definitely see that.
And doesn't that do interesting things to that fan club thing that Slicer just mentioned?
Yeah.
Does it? I mean, it doesn't necessarily change things. It's still a bunch of needy people.
Yeah.
That's something that I believe is only like first episode or so. That goes away very quickly.
Probably, but unfortunately that's what we're going to be watching is the first episode.
Yeah, that's the problem. So
yeah.
I would say don't
format,
judge it.
But...
Yeah, I would say don't judge it too harshly based on that, because it does go places that are interesting.
Yeah.
So, Witchcraft Works next week.
Okay. I guess.
Hooray.
Nope, I got nothing. I was gonna go for like another pun, but I had nothing. Like photo fit? No. Finish line's pretty generic. That doesn't really. No, I got nothing. Damn it. I feel like I failed. Really.
Well, maybe next week we'll have Kenshi, this podcast stallion, with us.
Kenshi would have liked my puns.
I don't think he would have.
Yeah, he would.
I think you're making that up, actually.
No, Kenshi loves me. Kenchi loves me. He thinks I'm great.
I don't think so. See you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.